Alright, Clem against Reynor. Obviously, Reynor is still in Korea, guys. I think he's flying home literally tomorrow. So this is going to be his final evening. The plan is Cook against Clem. A 1-1, a 2-0. Both would be absolutely amazing for us. And then maybe have a fun final night over in Korea with Bully, who's there visiting him at the moment. And of course, Tasteless is around and plenty of others.
Neep also, I've heard.
Yeah.
Is studying right now.
Yeah, they actually sent me a picture of Neep, and Neep looked like such a giga chat, man. I mean, I think Neep always looked cool, but I wouldn't say that I didn't recognize him, but if you would have just showed me that picture and you would have been like, that's a random person, I'd be like, yeah, okay. And like only when I really focused on the pic, I was like, damn, Neep looks so good. He's been hitting the gym, mate.
Yeah. Already the last couple of events he went to, you could already see him starting to get a little buff. And now, without the Starcraft, it's been a while since we've seen him, so.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know if he actually lives there, or if he was just temporarily there, or studying a bit, but obviously Korea is a fun place. A lot of the Starcraft 2 nerds have always loved going to Korea. Some of them forever, some of them for a while. Like Mr. Mechanics, he was there for a long time.
Yeah, he's gonna go back there as well in a little bit. And Neep, I think, studies there for 1 semester.
Okay. You're gonna watch Mr. Mechanics against Moja tonight, Lambo.
Is that in the big brain bouts?
Yeah, I think it's a banger.
Yes, of course. That's a great match.
Yeah. I felt a little bit bad because it was very hard for me to estimate how good Sort of is, because I watch his streams sometimes and I saw him playing on the ladder. I was like, hey, he's been in Korea for a while and he has been active, so I made him play against Mana 2 weeks ago. But yeah, that just wasn't it. Obviously, ZVP is harder enough from the Zork point of view, and also Mana is still, I think, a lot better than what many people give him credit for. So I felt bad for Sort of, and I was like, let's go ahead and give him another shot. And against Moja today, I feel like that's a true 50-50, because Moja was excellent at Home Story Cup. Had a couple of fantastic games against people that, in general, the community would say are way better than him, like Gerald and whatnot. So I think Moja Sort of should be awesome.
It should be awesome. I favor Ricky there, actually, quite a bit, because it's by far his best matchup. Whenever I watch it, I'm a big Ricky enjoyer as well. I watch his stream whenever he was in Korea in the mornings. He was by far the best against Terran. His mechanics still shining through.
Alright, I look forward to it. I believe Moja is a bit of a one-trick pony, but it's one of these one tricks that even if you know it's coming, it's very hard to deal with.
Trust me, I know that the Adrax of Gabe is coming whenever it's an important tournament, and I still struggle sometimes. So.
What I love as well is that Gabe always does in-depth interviews about how he ran out of strategies at one point, and I'm like, mate, there is only one that you truly believe in. When it's for all the marbles, we know.
Yeah. He knows, his opponent knows. The casters know. Still just such a good build.
Clement versus Reynor. We are just waiting for both players to be ready. With WTL, we never truly know, guys. Sometimes they start 2 minutes after they open the show. Sometimes it takes 12 minutes to get the first match going. And the second matches, it's the same. All these games are live. Nobody has played in advance. At least not as far as I know. But the first one definitely seemed live because we had player cameras. And I don't think that Reynor and Clem played in advance. If they would have played in advance, it would have probably already started, because that also speeds up the whole process. Yeah, we're just waiting. Shouldn't take too much longer.
Yeah, it shouldn't. They used to actually force us to record our cameras when we pre-played, but I think it was too hard for pro gamers to do. So they stopped with that.
I mean, I had that request as well a few times, and one time I know for a fact that it was done, and then they still didn't use it. So maybe it's also harder for them to like take all that recording and sync it up with the game, and like, you know, and they just said like, F it, whatever, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, for those that don't know, I think every team gets 3 pre-plays. So sometimes not everybody can play on the date itself, so you get 3 times in a season you can force a match that is before the scheduled time. So it shouldn't happen too often, because there's just a set amount.
Yeah, every now and then we get another one though, because I always have very good arguments on why we deserve at least 1 or 2 more. And then there's a little back and forth with me and the WTL admin, and then eventually they're like, all right, you get 2 more. I was like, sick. No, but to be fair, when we have literally the European regionals, which is one of the biggest events of the year for StarCraft 2, and even if it's region lock, even if it's online, it doesn't matter, right? They're big, they're important, they're prestigious. If they make us play a match at Sunday, the championship Sunday at 4 p.m. It's like, well, with Reynor, Trigger, and Serral, there's a good chance one of them, if not two or all three of them, are playing. And on such a big day, I feel like I don't want to disturb my players by asking them to play in the WTL, even though we love WTL. That's literally thousands of dollars on the line. So we had a bit of a back and forth, and in the end, yeah, they agreed that that's not very nice. And I was like, yeah. I was like, they always avoid GSL days, but then the European regionals, they're like, oh, whatever, you can just play, it doesn't overlap. And I was like, but that's not how it works. I was like, if you're a pro, you're just focused, you're dialed in, you want to get ready for one specific series, you don't want to be playing, even if it's Jaishi or Eon Blue or whatever, Tootming, right? It doesn't matter. You just let them prepare in their own way.
Yeah. Fully agreed. But when I ask this, he always says no, so I think you need to be more persistent as well.
Oh, yeah, no. You should have seen these essays that I had with him, mate. One time, he just... this was not the most recent season. This is a longer time ago, maybe like a year ago or something. As it seems like we're pretty much ready, guys. But he was like, no, you really have to play. And I was like, all right, we give a walkover. He's like, question mark? I was like, 6-0 for the enemy team. I was like, it sucks, but it is what it is. I was like, the regionals are important to the players. I was like, we won't play. And he's like, okay, 3 replacements. But yeah, like I would have been completely okay with it. And the bosses of Basilisk said as well, like, Roddy, if it has to be a walkover loss, so be it. It is what it is. Let the guys prepare for their big games. And I think that's the way it should be. WTL is awesome, but it shouldn't interfere with something as important as the final day of the regionals.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
Clement, his backdrop looks a little messy. I'm not used to that anymore, because there was a time that Clem had like the sexiest pro gamer setup out there with some cool lights, solid sharp camera. I was so proud of him. Now we have just dumped whatever we have left from Homestead Cup on the couch or something.
Looks like it.
People are saying Clem looks sleepy. I mean, it was a meme for a long time that Clem always stayed up till 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m. and he wakes up very late. I believe that he said like, no, that's not the case anymore. I'm a lot better about it. But I also believe that he really enjoys playing Counter-Strike with the Americans. You know, Foxer and Canning, Trigger, they've got a whole crew. So perhaps every now and then there is still an all-nighter for Clemo.
Yeah. I mean, he's at that age, he can still manage.
I'll take our 50% man here, by the way, if he wants to become the 50% man once more, which he hasn't done too often this season, to be totally fair. Reynor has been excellent for us. But if he wants to go back to his roots and be the 50-50 man, I think that would be a great result for us.
Yeah, I agree. Especially after the 2-0 from Showtime. I think having Serral get 2-0 by Cure is rather unlikely, so I would sign it as well if I was you.
Clem, of course, in top left of Amphion, and it's BASILISK Reynor on his absolute final night over in South Korea. He made a couple of cool tweets about it, said obviously the Korea journey wasn't totally what he had in mind, but he still absolutely loved it. He got to meet some great people, he did his best, he played against different opponents, and sometimes all that effort you put in, it doesn't show immediately, but there's a good chance that over time, Reynor will still benefit from this Korea trip that he's had, and I believe in that. And I'm glad that he had a great time, right? That's also, like, so, sure, you want to do well in the GSL contest, but there's more to life than getting the immediate results. If he is happy, I think that can really help him getting ready for the Esports World Cup. Yep,
I agree. In my experience, it takes a while for, if you do a lot of focus practice, a lot of long days of work, very often you can see the results delayed, like a couple of months even. And yeah. Sometimes when you don't play and you don't feel stressed, you perform better then, but it's still really the work that you put in before that matters.
On Amphion, I've seen you play some Muda Link Banes from time to time. Sometimes it looked amazing, sometimes it looked difficult to end the games. Why do you like the Mudas on Amphion?
Because first of all, it's a very large rush distance map. And there's just a lot of bases that you can take in general. So, and it's close by air, which all of these things favor Muda. And if you don't go Muda, I think this map is barely playable at all, because the Terran can just take the left side base and go orbital on location 4th base, orbital on location 5th base, and just expand towards you, and you're gonna die to tanks. That has been my experience with this map. I think you gotta play something a little different than normal. You can't even take a 3rd base right away. Like, you can see Clem scouting here with the SCV. And now which 3rd are you going to take? You cannot expand towards the left side as Dirk, so you need to start with 2 base, and then very often Muda one of the better things you can do from 2 base, because the way Zerg works is that the hatchery gives you the larva, so not taking this base earlier on also means that you can't spend your money if you don't either make a ton of queens or you tech up either into roaches or mulas.
Ian Blue is asking, why is the triangle based on an option? And with the triangle, I assume he means the left one, not the one in the center.
So the one in the center, both of them would be very close. The left one would just mean that the Terran can tank push without you being able to flank the army even, because there's rocks. So legit, you can't even surround or flank, which is what Zerg is required to do if you want to hold any push, really. But also the Ratchet, since it's just too short. If he was to take the other triangle, like the light triangle, I'm going to call it, I also think it's just too short. The map just becomes too short.
Quick lair on the way for Reynor, as he now feels confident that he can sneak out a drone and he can go up to 3 bases. Clem obviously playing triple CC here, wants to get that creep tumor, and Claymore gets what he wants. It's a very annoying one for Reynor to lose, because it is important to get some creep going. There are 2 Hellions as well, and Clem has found a lot of success in the past with donating just his first 2 Hellions against Reynor. At the Home Story Cup, we saw this move a few times with mixed results. I want to say Reynor is going to deal with this quite well. Loses 6 Zerglings or so, but not a single drone. We're going to be happy with it.
Yeah. This is usually a bad move if the Zerg opens 2 base, because you have more queens than usual. So I feel like the Hellions never should do anything. It's not the biggest deal because he's going 2-on-1.
Hey, what is Reynor doing?
Is going Link Queen drop. He's going for a Link Queen drop all in. So the 2 Hellions, losing them is actually huge. It's a big deal. Now, I still would think that this is a good build order-wise, because Stim should be done by the time this hits, and he has a high number of Marines, but it is still a 3cc opening, and he lost his first 2 Hellions, so we'll see if this works. Cool build.
Yeah, so it's 4 queens. Obviously, some of them will have some energy. It's a lot of links. It will all come down to the wraparound. This is where I would love them to only show us the vision of Clem. Because Clem obviously doesn't really have that much vision. Hasn't built any bunkers. He even dropped 2 E-base. So that doesn't really give us any indication that he's ready. Reynor shows some links, but really not that many. Now he's going to try to pull the Marines out of position. And here comes the Queen Ling invasion. Can Reynor get the wraparound? You said it. Stim is done, but without any medevac. Stims are scary. Here come the queens as well. Can we drop some creep so the queens can start transfusing each other? I feel like that's kind of mandatory. And we do get some creep going. All 4 queens still alive. Links in the main base too. Reynor is everywhere.
Reynor is everywhere, and this was exactly the engagement that Reynor wanted. Clem fell for a couple of links at the front, and he had no scouting. He had no idea of what was happening. He probably thought this was going to be a 2-base Muta opening. Clem still managed to save a lot of Marines, so he's not dead yet by any means, because Reynor doesn't really have any tech besides the lair being finished. No Bending Nest, no upgrades, but this should be enough damage. He's almost doubling Clem's supply at this point, and he can start offensively creep spreading, which is going to force out so many scans. Even inside the natural of Clem at this point.
Yeah, but only a 15 worker deficit. I am still a tiny bit scared, because I feel like we've seen this before. Now, Clem, does he have combat shields? I don't think he does, right? It's just him.
Yeah, no combat shields.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. But if we lose all 4 queens here and these 2 drop lords, and it seems like that is going to happen, at least we lose one of them, and the Marines are going to have to be forced to hop into the medevac as the links show up one more time. And having that 1 active creep tumor is awesome. Reynor is still going to try to drop Zerglings in the main, and that's awesome, because Clem's medevac count at the moment is 2. So these Marines, they can't stim forever. Obviously, Reynor cannot donate the drop lord. Saved by the bell.
Saved by the bell. Here comes the scan. He dropped 2 mules even before the scan, because the income for Clem right now is so impactful. Reynor going double upgrades before the Baning Nest even, which can be a little bit risky, honestly. He's really banking on the fact that he can keep Clem at home. Clem doesn't even have a wall off right now, so it's very, very difficult for Clem to ever move out. He would need to leave a lot of stuff at home. And we already know that Reynor is one of the best players when it comes to these Ling Run dice, so it's going to be very, very scary for Clem to do anything on the map.
And these scans are very annoying, because obviously Clem was hurting economically. Now he's forced to throw down scan after scan to take care of that creep. A few of these SCVs were low on HP, so Reynor is going to find at least, I think, 3-4 more. Make it 4 in the end, and some lost mining time. And the nicest thing is for Reynor is that A, Clem was kind of broke, but B, he was still forced to produce links, right? Excuse me, Marines, just in case Reynor made even more queens and even more links. But while building all those extra Marines and SCVs, he couldn't really increase his medevac count. So as long as that medevac count is low, I don't think Reynor has a whole lot to fear from Clem.
Yeah, that is true. The one bad thing for Reynor is that he has barely any creep on his own side of the map. But as long as he can keep spraying creep on the other side of the map, that creep on his side should be relatively uncontested, and he can replenish that right around now. And I think at this point, Reynor already is safe. He's going to be even in upgrades. Oh my god, he's even creeping towards Clem's natural. This is going to be so annoying to deal with for the rest of the game, honestly, for Clem.
Yep. Almost seems that Clem had enough of it as he is rallying a bunch of units to the other side of the map. But Reynor, his Lings are going to jump on them Marines. That is a tiny surround as well. Maybe even a tank, as there is some creep that Reynor can work with. But reinforcements are going to keep that tank safe. I mean, bailing speed is close to finishing up. The 1-1 upgrades of Reynor are done. Reynor definitely needs to stop building the drones now for a split second. And let's just go ahead and make sure we have enough units. Oh, Claymore doing Claymore things. But he just doesn't have the numbers.
Yeah, that was not good enough. Clem is all-inning, by the way. He stopped SCV production.
Yeah.
Now he realized it can't work, so now he's making SCVs again, I'm pretty sure. He knows that this is a terrible position. This was not a good trade for Reynor. He lost a lot of Zerglings there. Barely didn't get any of the tanks. Obviously, you're never going to get those if they're unsieged and there's Medivacs above, but... oh my god, the double creep to maybe I think those are just going to die, but... Reynor's being very cute.
If he would have done that in the very corner, there's a good chance that would have worked.
That's true, yeah.
Reynor's got bigger fish to fry. He's got Burrow done now as well. And you know how much I love myself some Burrowed Banelings.
I do know that, yeah. Reynor doesn't even need to defend that base. He has a run-by going. He's probably gonna kill a lot of SCVs on Clem's own third base, but this is not that many Marines.
Not just
and the main base as well, the drop.
Dropalord, I think, came back one more time. Clem is going to lose a few more Marines here. Queens can tank. They can gun down one tank. Maybe the second one as well. Or maybe Reynor could have done. It's just the Queen drop, by the way, in the main. I was killing some SCVs. I mean, 15 more. Knocks Clem all the way back to 42. Down 36 work as well. Reynor even has the confidence now to fire up a hive. It just feels that the floodgates are way too open. And it's going to be so easy for Reynor to continue to find damage.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance that Clem can ever win this game. He can't even safely mine from his own bases anymore. Keeps getting dropped in his main base. He keeps getting run by towards his natural and his third base. He can't even afford a wall off right now. He never managed to get that wall off the entire game long. And all he's doing really with this drop is trying to deny the mining of Reynor's fourth base, and he already has a fifth base that is mining as well.
I feel like we missed Burrowed Banelings, by the way, on that one ramp from the main to the natural of Clem, as we have a tiny Burrowed Bane here as well. Reynor sneaks a couple of links from the top side, gets on top of that tank, and all that's left for Clem is a bunch of Marines with 1-1. Maybe Clem lost an eBay, or he just only started +2 armor. That's awkward, but don't think it really makes a difference. Reynor is just ahead in every single aspect as he's finding more freebies. Reynor with an unorthodox build. The Queen Link drop gets the job done and puts us 3-0 against Team Liquid. And all that Basilisk needs now is just one more map win. The boy is dialed in.
The boy is dialed in. He even has a chance for a 4-0 now against Team Liquid, which would be huge.
It's going to be good for his ELO as well if you look at Clem's ELO.
That's true. Reynor's ELO also getting up there.
Yeah.
It's not many players that get toward the 800s.
Solid. What do you think Clem is going to pick? So many great choices, no?
There are so many great choices. Usually I would say Ghost River or Dynasty. Now I saw it, but it's usually Ghost River or Dynasty. I think if Terrans actually had a real bidder on Dynasty, they would pick that over Ghost River even, but they barely ever play the map, so Ghost River is a little bit more standard and still super good for Terran.
Ethermal says, first I throw versus Trigger and then Reynor beats Clem with my build. I'm the Basilisk Guardian Angel. And I wouldn't want it any other way, Mark. Yeah, we got a little lucky in that Clem war. I don't know if you saw that one, but...
I saw it. I saw the one base against the 3 base Protoss. Without any scouting.
I know. Oh, poor Mark. I mean, that one was scary. But the first one I thought was even scarier.
Yeah.
River. I thought we were kind of cooked. Ghost River. 2 teams that have 4 wins and 2 losses so far in this season. Basilisk started off 0-2 as we lost to Starlight Twinkle. I mean, Bruce Wayne, never to be underestimated. Second play day we lost against Dragon Kaisi Gaming. After that we started getting back on track. TL obviously is a team that's pretty much always going to make it into the playoffs. But this is definitely an important one, right? To figure out who is going to take the upper hand in the race to the playoffs and get deeper seat.
Yeah, TL actually historically always performs very poorly in the regular season. I think one time they didn't even make it, or maybe they made it in last place into the playoffs, barely. So usually, even though they have such a good team, they struggle in the regular season. This is, I think, the best season from them so far. Or maybe last season.
Last season, I think they were good too, because obviously they had Cure, right?
But didn't last season Clem like all get everything in the playoffs, and they also started in the first match? Or was it the one before?
Yeah, no, I think you're right actually, because they started off against Sidestorm Gaming and came down to Clem Max Packs.
Yeah. So I don't think the regular season was that good for them either.
Maybe Cure joined late. He was only eligible at like play day 8 or 9, if I recall.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's how it was. Yeah.
Alrighty, here we go, guys. Goes the river, top left side. The Italian Stallion for BASILISK Reynor, top right side. It's a must-win game for him and his team if they still want to have a tiny chance on going for the reverse sweep and turning this around. A Team Liquid Clem.
It's gonna be hype. I wonder what Reynor's gonna do here, because Clem already opening up with the gas first. He's gonna run by some cars again. But yeah, the reason this map is so hard is, first of all, you kind of need to open pool first if you even want to get a third base up. And then after that, you're limited to 6 bases, and the Terran can crawl forward to his own 6 bases. You can never mine from your opponent's side of the map at all. So you're forced to kill the Terran at some point. And that makes the game plan very, very easy for the Terran, because you can sit there and do nothing.
What did you make of Serral on this map against Oliveira?
That was a crazy game. That's the first time I saw that actually somewhat work. I still think Oliveira could have won that game, and it was super close, like even closer than it might have looked.
No, I thought it was Omega close for a while, and I was like, with Lair Tech too, I was like, I've been here. Pulled against Jaedong a million times over. It's like, oh, the Zerg winning. Just kidding. 3-3 bios still wins. And then somehow Serral just so freaking good. Keeps on finding openings, run bys. Thought it was an amazing game too.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Yeah, I kind of believed in Oliveira's chances in the game until the absolute last moment where I was like, wait. Is he just like too far behind right now? And pretty much ended right afterwards. Such an insane game.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I looked at it as well. It was insanely close for a long time, and I figured the moment there's like one fight where there's 2 big mine hits, Zerg instantly loses, but the fight never came.
And then sometimes even into mines and a planetary is like, there's no happy ending to this. And then Jonas like, well, maybe there is. I was like, alright, fair enough. I stand corrected, and I'm very happy to do so. Because it's always nice when you see players pull off builds, strats, execution that you just don't think that's possible. You've been watching this game for 14 years, and at one point you kind of feel like you've seen it all. And then Yona is always there to show you a thing or two that you haven't quite seen yet.
So Clem did a cute thing there, which was to follow the links around with the SUV to make sure that he can send the Reaper across. He knew that there were no links on the map, but this, as I said before, you just need to go pool first if you want to take your third hatchery. The third base is super far away. You absolutely do not have a secondary third base on this map.
No.
On Amphion, you kind of do, but not really, and on this map you absolutely don't, so... that's the only reason he went for pool first, not because he was afraid of proxy racks or anything like that.
Kind of nice actually that Reynor at least is able to get this hatchery up and running that quick. Don't hate it. It is something that we can perhaps work with, as Clem's Reaper has hopped into the main base of Reynor. That grenade is well placed. By the way, it is important to mention that obviously Reynor is still in Korea, that we are playing on different servers. Game 1 was probably played on US West. Game 2 will be played on Central. Central favors the Europeans. US West favors the Koreans, and in this case Reynor is the Korean, so this is going to be a difficult game for Reynor for more than one reason other than the map and it being Clem.
Yeah, I think you got a little bit fortunate there that Clem didn't continue chasing with the 2 Hellions, because there was nothing there. There was no GPS output on the ramp. Obviously Clem can't know what he can't see. But Reynor getting away with 1 there, still losing 2 drones, losing a lot of mining time is not perfect. But this is a 2cc opening. This also was an SCV scout with a gas first. So this is relatively committed. The 3rd cc of Clem will be very late, and he won't have 8 Hellions or anything like that. So yeah, as long as Reynor doesn't lose a whole lot now 2d6 Hellions plus the Liberator, he's in a fantastic spot.
Yep, the third base definitely a lot later than it could have been. Clem just wanted to get these units out for A, map control, and perhaps be confident that they can start finding damage. Good reaction there by Reynor though, pulls the drones away, moors one of them into a spore too. If Reynor can just continue defending like this for a little while longer, I'm starting to get actually pretty excited about his chances. As he loses a single drone there, but all of that is acceptable. This is not a fight I think that the Queens are going to win. Unless we can get away from the circle. We can sort of get away from the circle. Wow, what a transfuse. But there are still Hellions. Oh no, another drones are being pulled towards the direction of the Hellions. Reynor has a few Zerglings here too. What a transfuse on that Queen.
Yeah, nice transfuse on the Queen, but all the Zerglings go down, and now there's no DPS in the main. I would go to the main if I was Clem. All the Zerglings died. He tries to go to the natural. Nice building placement blocks. I mean, throughout all of this, Reynor is not spreading creep. He has to remake all of the links, so I still think this was good for Clem overall. But this is a 2cc build, so...
Yeah, it's a lot of units, though, that Clem lost. Yeah. And then, like you said, the 3rd cc being quite a bit later. I don't think Clem is mega unhappy, but I also don't think that this is what he would be celebrating for.
Yeah, I do think he's ahead overall, but not by as much, for sure.
As we are 6 minutes into this game, is there any chance that you can get me tickets for that final, by the way, Lambo, in Berlin, Netherlands against either Spain or, I don't know, some other pleb country? You got any connections for me, mate?
Mate, you're not getting past Austria.
Oh, absolutely. I love how the Netherlands is so funny, man. We just got bobbed by Austria, and now everybody looks at our bracket and we're like, easiest bracket ever.
Yeah. You gotta get past Romania first, my friends.
Yeah. It's okay, mate. They're afraid of us. I love it. Exciting times. 2 hatcheries at once for Reynor, 1 macro hatch in the main, and obviously a 4th base as he's working on +1 carapace. Bailey Nest going down. Lara's about to finish up. Clem obviously this time around much better setup. This time he didn't lose 25 SCVs. And Reynor is not doubling or almost even tripling his economy. That is actually going to supply block Reynor for a bit. It's got 4 overlords on the way. Really can't afford to lose another one. How good are the Queens? Can they save the day? Clem shows no respect for the Queens, and he's willing to battle.
He's willing to battle. Clean pickup. This, if you misclick during the pickup on an A, this can very quickly go south, where 1 medevac will die because you try to still pick up the Marines if you misclick once, but
my stream is
Clem
lagging.
saves all of the Marines. Oh, my stream isn't.
Really? Sick. I blame Cuckoo. Probably opening the door again. Sorry guys, give me 1 sec. You're still watching on YouTube, right?
I'm watching on YouTube, yeah.
What the hell is my... For real? Like you have no lag?
I have no lag, yeah.
That's crazy.
Clem is just dropping, they're trading a little bit. Nothing much is happening right now.
I can't even open That's amazing. I can't even open the stream. I'm gonna see if Twitch works. It just keeps on spinning. Nothing I can do. Alright, Twitch seems to work. So I'm just gonna watch on Twitch for a little bit. I'm at 7:41, 2.
Yeah, perfect. 3. We're synced.
Alright, let's go.
Okay, so Clem now multitasking. He has a double drop at the bottom, double drop at the top. Trying to trade this away quite nicely. Focus fires a couple of banings, picks up, saved most of the Marines. Clem forgot to start his 2-2 for a while, which sucks, especially against a Pureling Bane. Upgrade advantages are so big. You spoke about the 3-3 versus the 2-2, which happens very often, but even just if you have 2-2 versus 1-1, Marines versus Lings trade so cost effectively. And he's also setting up for a Willmine transition, so Clem's just setting up for the long run. He's not gonna plan to kill Reynor. He's just gonna move out and try to trade, I think, for the rest of the game. This is kind of his playstyle, trade his opponent to death.
I'll still feel that Reynor's hive is mega quick here, right? And if we can just get his Reynor glance going, that can make up a little bit for the upgrade deficit.
Yeah, for sure.
Quick Viper, I love it. Single Parabomb there can get the double kill. But we do need to respect this army, and Clem has already shown us today that the target fire against Banelings is on point. I don't think we have many Banelings right now. I see a couple show up, but I feel like that's kind of it, no?
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of Banelings. He just needed to spend the gas on the Viper and the Adrenal Glands, and he's only on 5 gas, from what I can see. So... Oh, he even was just on 4 gas or 3, because he's taking 2 now. So yeah, he just doesn't have gas for Banelings. He also doesn't have start to start his extra upgrades, so it's gonna be behind in upgrades for quite a long time. Now he's going for a massive counter attack, but there's already the mines in position. If Clem manages to borrow those, it's gonna be impossible to go up that ramp. Yeah, he detonates one, but it's very difficult to push up that ramp.
Clem now dropping in the bottom left, so I don't think Reynor can really do a lot about that hatch here. Apparently Clem maybe with an F2 there, tiny F2, right? Because those, okay, but he still gets the kill. Not even a cancel, but I think that's a straight up kill on the hatch. This Reynor does get F2, or does get carapace now. Those Marines ran away from the job before the mission was finished, but then in the end they turned around and it worked out for Clem. Maybe if he was just attacking it all along, then Reynor would have cancelled it. Counter attack's not getting a lot done. I don't think we've got Burrow this time around, so Reynor maybe just hoping that he can force Clem to keep a lot of supply at home, and that he then has enough to crush Clem on this side of the map, and that's exactly what he's going to go for right now. Gets on top of 2 out of 3 tanks very quickly. The Zerglings are not going to win the fight against the Marines at the bottom left. Baneling's kind of derping a tiny bit, but at least he got the tanks.
Yeah, that was not a good trade though at all. That was really rough, honestly. He's running out of Banelings now. He just started his 2-2, Clem has his 3-3. I think that fight kind of did it. He was already dying before that, so there's not much he could have done.
Maybe if we can spend our money, we're still okay, because he does have 1,200 minerals in the bank.
Yeah, that is true. I think if he spends his money, even if he's maxed right now and he has no bank, I think he's pretty dead. Because Clem is fully set up on 4 base, he has a 5th base on the way, he's ahead in upgrades, he's maxed on an anti-Ling Bane army, or like Marauders and Widow Mines, and if that's up in upgrades, I mean... Yeah,
we need Clem to stop being Clem and actually absorb a couple Banelings for there to be a 1% chance, but Clem doesn't really let go of these games. Obviously Clem's got the ping advantage here as well. The splits are pretty damn good, Banelings get obliterated before they get anywhere near them Marines. Second wave of Banes finds a tiny bit of success as Reynor's also trying to drag the Widowmine shots on top of the Terran army. I mean, Reynor actually did pretty alright here. It's just even alright, it's not going to do a whole lot for him. Because let's say these Banes will push Clem back. That doesn't mean that the game is now suddenly looking great for Reynor. He's still being outmined and out-upgraded.
Yep. There's even Ghosts on the way. Clem doesn't need Ghosts, but Ghosts are also not bad against Ling Bane. Can EMP the Vipers. Or snipe the Vipers, whatever he prefers. And Clem has a second army that is just as big as this one in the center of the map. He's just having fun. He's rallying all his units across in different groups and trying to out-multitask Reynor. Reynor can't even get a 5th base up, which he really desperately needs because his main base is gonna run dry.
Bit of friendly fire there. Maybe we can get the Millennium 4 GG Widow Mines and bring back Reynor into the game.
That would be one way. I think it's more likely than Clem just dying to Banelings, I feel like.
And a Viper in the mix, maybe we spam a Power Bomb or land an Abductor too, but there are those Ghosts that you mentioned. I love that you said, like, those actually pretty good against Ling Bane as well. So what are they not good against from this Zerg, Lambo? That's what I would like to know.
Well, I have this question many times, so I checked on the help tab from Starcraft 2 in-game, and it says the counter that Zerg has is the Roach.
The Roach is onto something, maybe that's why his Artosis is good. As Reynor does find a couple of Banelings to connect with these units, but obviously Clem is macroing like an absolute animal. Clem now on 5 bases. Reynor trying to get that 5th base online in the bottom left. We've got a Liberator or 2 making it to the front line, and if Queens are your only anti-air, well, it's gonna be good enough. I mean, definitely an A for Fighting Spirit coming out of Reynor, but Clem really showing up now with the hot pickup on that 1 HP Ghost. He said earlier he's having fun. Definitely looks like Clem is having fun.
Yeah. I mean, Reynor is microing really well, but it's a very uphill battle, so...
I was wondering if my stream was... Yeah, I was wondering if my stream was lagging again, but apparently there is somebody in the game that's lagging. Obviously this one is kind of over, but it's okay. Reynor has done a great job for us. I am very, very happy with the 50 man showing up today. All we need is Yona to take a map against Cure. And I haven't checked our League Lag yet, Lambo, but I'm pretty certain Yona has taken a couple of maps in a row against Cure.
A couple of maps for sure. I think Cure doesn't like this matchup right now to begin with, so going up against the best there is, it's gonna be an uphill battle even to take a map usually. I don't know how much Yona plays right now, but yeah, I think you guys are for sure the favorite for the rest of the clan war with how this stands.
I'm happy that you also still call it a clan war. The OGs.
How is it supposed to be called?
I don't know, but I feel like they're not many people are referring to clan wars, but I am. Seems like somebody is still lagging this game, but obviously it's not going to change anything. Reynor doing his best with the queens transfusing each other. Clem's army is bigger, it's better, has more potential, and Reynor knows it.
Well, Reynor didn't even find the time to start tier 3, nor the money. He's now going for his last run. By the moment he sees the army at the army back at home, he's just gonna tap out.
Clem doesn't look too satisfied with that 1-1. Reynor not necessarily buzzing either, but I think Reynor can overall be very happy with it, knowing that Showtime got that 2-0 lead for us in the beginning in the PvP over Skillless. And that means that it will all come down to Serral versus Cure. Obviously same conditions as Clem against Reynor. Game 1 will be played on US West, favors the Korean players. Game 2 will be played on US Central, and that favors the European players. So